Hey guys, welcome to the video for Elden Ring. My name is Ventus. Okay, so you're fighting Godrick the Graphic and you're having a hard time. Well, don't worry, I got you covered on how to beat him. First thing I'll go over is a few different builds that you should try that are well within your grasp to get by the time you reach Godrick, as well as ways to land a few meaty hits on him to end the fight quickly. I just want to start by saying first, if you're new here and just found this specific video, please check out my previous videos for more information about items and equipment mentioned in this video if I don't give enough detail on how to acquire him. This video is actually the 5th video in an Elden Ring for Beginners mini-series that I've put together for new players. Alright, so the first thing you should do if Godrick is giving you a lot of problems is check your level. For this fight to be somewhat fair, you should be between levels 35 to 40 with a vigor at or around 20 and a strength almost the same. Vigor and strength determine how much health you have in the fight as well as how much physical damage you are dealing. Here are the way my stats look on a new game save file that I created specifically for this miniseries. At the present save, as of the making of this video, I'm at the Godrick boss fight. Now, if you're having trouble leveling up, two good rune farming spots are the Gatefoot ruins, destroying the mobs there over and over with the help of the Lone Wolf Ashes. Each run of the Gatefront clearing all the enemies gets you about 1400 runes. And then there is the giant at the Third Church of Marika, where you get 1000 runes each time you kill it. Now, it is okay to farm runes as much as you need to level up to make boss fights easier in this game. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Next, if you think you have high enough levels, your early build might be a problem. I primarily tell people to use two-handed weapons like Greatswords on early bosses because of their higher than normal ability to stance break enemies with just a few jumping heavy attacks. If you aren't using the Lord Sworn's Greatsword, give it a try. You get it from a chest at the Gatefront Ruins, and honestly, having it at +8 does all of the work for you when you fight Godrick. The first build that I beat Godrick with on this save game file was the Lord Sworn's Greatsword with the Sacred Blade Ash of War, an item that, once activates, shoots a holy energy projectile and leaves the blade coated with holy energy for extra damage. You can even use the Sacred Scorpion Charm as a talisman to deal even more damage with every single attack. To get the Sacred Blade Ash of War, just kill the scarab found north across the lake from the Third Church of Marika. The Sacred Scorpion Charm is dropped by defeating Anastasia at the Smoldering Church. But fair warning, when you use the Sacred Scorpion Charm, you will take more damage when you get hit. Not much more though, and you will be dealing more damage than you would be taking. Also, as a talisman for this version of the build, use the Assassin's Dagger. It restores HP when you score a critical hit. If you don't have the Assassin's Dagger talisman, you can get it when you defeat the boss at the Death-Touched Catacombs. And finally, use the Lone Wolf Spirit Ashes. You can purchase them at the Round Table Hold if you didn't get them at the very start of the game, and level them up with Roderica also in the Round Table Hold. They take Grave Glowwort, which normally are found in caves and catacombs. Now, that build is a bit more aggressive to get your hits in and get your damage and be done with the fight. However, if you need something a bit safer, you can always swap the Sacred Scorpion Charm for the Flame Drake Talisman. The Flame Drake Talisman boosts your fire damage negation by a lot, actually, for this particular fight. You get this talisman from defeating the boss in the Groveside Cave. In Godrick's second form, he switches and starts using fire with most of his attacks, which are highly avoidable for the most part, but if they do happen to catch you, they won't do as much damage if you have this Flame Drake Talisman. A third build that you can try that will deal a lot of damage and is safer is the Heavy Crescent Moon Axe with the Endure Ash of War enchanted with the Bloodflame Blade incantation. This build is considered safer because of the Endure Ash of War. You purchase it from the War Master's Shack for 600 runes, and when you activate it, it gives you a higher poise and makes you take less damage from attacks for the next few seconds, meaning that if you get hit by almost anything Godrick throws at you, you won't take as much damage from it and you can still do your attack. So if you see Godrick about to do an attack, all you have to do is activate this Ash of War and then slam him with a heavy attack of your own. Now, if you don't have the Crescent Moon Axe, you get it from one of the soldiers in Stormvale Castle. I got mine in the room above the Ulcerated Tree Spirit mini-boss fight zone. There are two soldiers in this room, both wielding the axe. You need a strength of 23 to use this axe properly in one hand, but you can get away with a lower strength if you hold it in two hands. When you get it, make sure you increase its level to at least 7 or 8 with level 1 and 2 smithing stones you can purchase at the Two Maidens in the Round Table Hold. Use the Flame Drake Talisman with this build, and fighting Godrick should be a lot easier. A fourth build that you can try is using the Uchigatana Katana and the Bloody Slash Ash of War. Now, if you didn't start the game as a samurai, you'll have to go and get a copy of the katana from the Death Touch Catacombs, the same place where you get the Assassin's Knife Talisman. To wield the katana properly, you'll need a dexterity of at least 15. The Bloody Slash Ash of War is an extremely powerful item that will literally knock chunks of Godrick's health bar with either the Lord Sworn's Greatsword or the katana. You get this Ash of War at the top of Fort Height when you defeat the soldier that's standing guard on the top upper levels. Now, the katana already has something called a blood loss buildup rated at 45, which means that with every hit you do of the katana, you're building up blood loss in target's hit. Once they take enough damage from a weapon that has a blood loss buildup stat, they will take a burst of damage. The higher the blood loss buildup of a weapon, the faster blood loss buildup will be in enemies with each attack, causing them to take that burst of damage a lot quicker. So when you apply the Bloody Slash Ash of War on your katana or greatsword, make sure it's set to the blood affinity. Now, when it comes to actually fighting Godrick, he has a lot of attack patterns, and most of his attacks are easily dodged using this rule of thumb. For vertical attacks, dodge horizontally. For horizontal attacks, dodge roll forward or back. Usually you're going to dodge roll towards him. There are a few attacks that he does that you can actually take advantage of. His first attack is usually a wide horizontal swing where he drags the axe along the ground. Roll into him to avoid getting hit by this, and then smack him with a heavy attack or a jump heavy attack with your weapon, whichever you choose, held in both hands. After you attack him, move away from him. Remember, whenever you see him drag the axe along the ground, move towards him and roll into him to avoid getting hit. When storm winds surround his body and he rolls around on the ground, he has two attacks that he does from this. If you're close to him, he does this really wild sort of jump, and when he does this, run close to him and then roll horizontally to the right as he's landing. And upon standing up, you can get a free jumping heavy attack on him because his recovery frames in this state are super slow. When the storms whip up around his body and you are further away, he sends two projectiles at you. Wait for them to get close. Dodge the first one horizontally to the left and the second one horizontally to the right. When he raises his axe and slams it down, wait for him to start the slamming down animation and then jump. Wait a heartbeat and then jump again for the second mini slam. And on that second jump, use it to execute a jumping heavy attack. Don't do the jumping heavy attack on the first slam, however, because you will get hit. If you miss the jump heavy attack on the second little mini jump, you can still get a charged heavy attack after the second jump upon his recovery frames. His most dangerous attack in phase 1 is where he does these wild swings with his axe, but he tells you he's going to do it by holding his axe in front of him in both hands. Avoid this by rolling away from him as far as possible and do not stop moving backwards. If you hit a wall, just roll left or right to avoid the heavy vertical slam that he finishes with. When he switches to phase 2 and spits fire from the dragon's mouth, run at him full speed before the arc of the blast faces forward, then jump heavy attack him or give him a fully charged heavy attack, or a bloody slash if you like. If he staggers, give him a critical attack. After the critical attack is over, go for another heavy jump attack or just a heavy charge attack while he's recovering. When he slams his axe into the ground in phase 2, he does it several times in a very short amount of time, so don't jump these. Roll instead with every slam to avoid taking damage. When he tries to grab you with the dragon's mouth, just roll backwards away from it. And then when the dragon head ignites with fire and he starts streaming it in a wide arc, get as close to him as you can and move around behind him and get a free charged heavy attacks or a bloody slash on his back. For anything else, just remember, horizontal attacks, roll towards him. For vertical attacks, roll left or right. Alright, and that's going to be it. That's my best advice for defeating Godrick. I hope this was able to help. If it did, please give the video a like. Thanks so much for watching.